sardines. Lose your load, leave your mind behind, baby Jane. Oh, Mexico, it sounds so simple, I just gotta go. The sun's so hot, I forgot to go home. Guess I'll have to go now.
Hello everybody. Today and tonight, depending on when you're watching, we are going to be learning about Mexico and its many culture regions. In fact, they have 4 big culture regions. So, before we delve into the material, let's first figure out what in the world a culture region is. Well, if you remember what a culture trait is, all those things that you do that are unique, your sports, your religion, your food, your school, all those things are culture traits, things that make you unique. So simply, a culture region is an area where people share many of these culture traits. So for example, the USA shares many culture traits, the language we speak, the government we have, and also Wesleyan could be an example of a culture region simply because of the rules, the uniforms, the religion, the classes. All those things make Wesleyan a culture region. So, in Mexico, there are 4 big culture regions. One is northern Mexico. The second, central Mexico. The third is greater Mexico City. And the final one is southern Mexico. So those are our 4 big culture regions. Now let's talk a little bit about each. You might be wondering why I'm playing Justin Bieber. Well, I was playing Justin Bieber because in northern Mexico, a lot of influences come from the United States. So a lot of things in the United States are going to influence northern Mexico because it's so close to the United States border up there. So some of the things that are going to happen in northern Mexico are there are going to be a lot of factories and a lot of trade that are going to happen between the United States and Mexico. And as you can see here, here's a truck and the 2 flags. So the economies are going to help each other. Then you have pop culture. So, yep, Mr. Justin Bieber. We all like Bieber, guys, okay? You like the hair flip, you like his music, don't be ashamed. Then we have other things like TV shows, American Idol. Just because it's an American TV show doesn't mean it doesn't spread down to Mexico. And finally, you have the Border Patrol. A lot of people in Mexico try to sneak into the United States illegally, while others do it legally. The next region is Central Mexico. And Central Mexico is where a lot of the country was influenced by the Spanish. So a lot of it is going to be very colonial and look like it did during the Spanish era. So as you can see here, it has this kind of colonial architecture, the old Catholic building and style. In this region also, you're going to have a lot of farming. So here we have our friend, a farmer, and in this region they're going to grow a lot of corn. That's going to be their main crop that they're going to grow. Also, in this area, you could find a lot of the old gold mining mines that the Aztecs had to mine for the Spanish. So a lot of artifacts in this area as well. It's not as developed as northern Mexico. The third region we'll focus on is Greater Mexico City. Why Greater Mexico City? Well, that's where the capital lies, as well as about 50 surrounding cities that make up Greater Mexico City. So if you were to think of Atlanta, think about Atlanta and Greater Atlanta. Alpharetta, Roswell, Norcross, all of those cities are part of Greater Atlanta. So in Mexico City, it is the 16th largest city in the world, believe it or not. And in this 16th largest city of 19 million people, you're going to have a lot of crowding. And as you can see in this picture right here, you see a lot of that crowding. Because of that crowding, there's going to be a lot of pollution. Now look at this picture to the right. This is the exact same picture as this one. So number 1 is the exact same picture as number 2, but you can see all of this smoke and smog and pollution in the area. Also in Greater Mexico City, you're going to have a lot of wealth. There are a lot of jobs, there's a lot of good education, but side by side that wealth and that money you're going to get a lot of poverty. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of poor people who don't have a lot of money. So side by side that wealth is a lot of poverty. The final region we'll talk about is southern Mexico. Down at the bottom here where the Yucatan Peninsula is, it borders the Gulf of Mexico as well as the Pacific Ocean. Southern Mexico is very traditional. You're going to have a lot of people in this region speaking Indian languages. You're going to have a lot of people in this area with this traditional dress that you see right here, sombreros, and all of the colorful clothing and quilts that have been knitted that are traditional from the colonial era and from the native Mayans and Aztec peoples. In this area also, you're going to get a lot of subsistence farmers, so a lot of farmers who just make enough money to survive, to feed their family. Also, the oil business has started to make this area a lot of money as well. You can see how close it is to the Gulf of Mexico, and there's a lot of oil in this area right here. In addition to the oil business, you're going to have a lot of ruins from the Indian tribes and groups that we've talked about. This in particular is Chichen Itza, which is a Mayan ruin, one of the greatest Mayan constructions out there. And pretty neat that these are still around, and this is going to bring a lot of tourism to the region. Also because obviously it's pretty beautiful and the climate is nice almost year round. So those are your 4 Mexican culture regions: the northern, the central, Greater Mexico City, and southern Mexico. See ya tomorrow. Everybody have a conquistador day.